Hey, Dustin Tibbetts here, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers. How you doing today? We just hit 100,000 subscribers right now as I'm taping this here. I'm so thankful. I really appreciate all the support you guys have given us. And today what I'm going to try to do is maybe keep sharing that. Do what got you here, right? Dance with the one that brought you, so they say. What we're going to do is actually go over some retirement tips generally for each generation, because I find that a lot of you get this sort of off. So I'll keep this short today. I'll try to keep this short and sweet, educational, and all that good stuff. Okay, 25 to 35. A lot of people don't start investing before that, so sorry, I'm starting at 25. If you're starting before 25, good for you, right? I would say 1 out of like 100 customers or clients that we have here started under the age of 25. So it's likely that you're 25, you're starting to grow up, you had a little fun in your early 20s, now it's time to get going. The number one thing is get going. Right? Start saving. There's a huge difference. I'm going to actually give you a few numbers here. If you start saving, let's actually do 25. Let's say you start saving at 25, you've got nothing in the bank. You're just getting started, new 401k, whatever, and you want to have $50,000 a year for retirement. If we assume sort of a discounted average rate for Social Security of about $18,000 a year, for you to retire at age 67 is going to be $4,039 in a year that you have to save, and then you just raise that by the rate of inflation to keep up. Now, that's if you're 25. If you wait until you're 35, you get towards the back end of that, same stats, same everything, you now have to save essentially $7,000. Right? So look at the difference just in 10 years. You know why? Is because you have a lot longer to go for that money to grow. If you did follow that plan, when you're 35, you'd have $1.248 million. And then if we go back to 25 real quick, you would have $1.678 million. Look at the freaking difference by just starting a little bit early. So use this as you're kicking the butt there, that if you're 25 to 35, you've got to get started. I want you to consider a Roth IRA, right? So a lot of people say that for a tax-free way of investing, but I say that because if you're 25, 30, 35, whatever, in that camp, then you have all that time for that money to grow tax-free. The 1.2, the 1.6 that we just talked about, that's all tax-free. You wouldn't have to account for that in any real way there. Also, tip for the 25 to 35-year-olds, don't mess with the dividend stocks, right? Show me a way that you can beat growth stocks with dividend stocks, and I'll change my mind. But too many people say, I'm getting started, my first 2,000, my first 5,000, and then they want to go in dividend stocks and you want to grow like a snail when you should be taking all the risk you can take in a Roth IRA right now at this age group. All right, age 35 to 45. If you've been there, you know, you're starting to settle down a little bit. You're 38, you got 100,000 subscribers, you worked your butt off, you lost some hair a little bit. You probably have a real steady job, or at least getting into your career path that you want to be in now after maybe some change there. What I want you to do is I want you to start knowing your number, right? So you just socked away money when you were younger, hopefully 25, 30, 35, maybe some kids came along, whatever, your life beat you up a little bit. Now we got to know your number, because there's nothing worse than people that think they have to save every last penny for retirement. I hate that, right? Every advisor out there says more, put more money in. That's not fair. They're doing that for you. They want you to give them more money. No, I tell every single customer, let's just figure out what the number is and then move on. Let's go get the rest of your dough straight. How much do you need to save for the retirement goal that you have? And then don't put a penny more towards that, right? Things come up. You're going to have to, adjust along the way. But don't put a penny more towards that, because there's no point, right? If you already know what you want, go for that goal, shoot for that goal, and quit stressing yourself over all that extra money. Now, if you want to retire early, chances are, if you're in that camp, 35 to 45, a lot of people start saying, I like my job, I don't love my job, right? So maybe I'm going to retire a little bit early, and if that's the case, you may have to start using taxable accounts. So your second tip for 35 to 45-year-olds, consider a taxable account used wisely. Go see our FIFO versus LIFO video, where we talk about that if you're going to be actively trading. But start thinking about that as a spillover account, a gap account, a bridge account, whatever you want to call it, so that if you do desire to retire before 59 and a half, you've got some options there. And chances are you've got some gains that you can actually, games that you can play. Now, the last part for the 35 to 45-year-olds is, don't get too excited yet. You might move into some dividend stocks if you were really aggressively saving, but hang on tight, right? Just stay with those growth stocks for a while. Chances are you've been through some ups and downs in the market. You know the drill. You're not in any trouble. It's going to happen every now and then. Stick with the growth stocks to keep that money moving like a freaking bullet train. And so that's the case. 45 and on. Now, I'm really going 45 to 55 here because if you're over 55, we got a whole separate game to play there. But let's just say 45 to 55 as you're really steady, maybe in the upper end of earning what you might earn throughout your lifetime. We're going to look at your number, but now we're going to start thinking of taxes. We're going to start thinking of withdrawal strategies. If you're going to retire early, we're going to start thinking about how that's going to work. Where are those dollars going to come from so that you pay the least amount of taxes and can continue to get as much growth as possible? So all my 45-year-olds and older, we all start thinking about, great, I put a bunch of money away. I did my job. Now, how do I make sure I keep as much of it? And also, the last part to that is, only take the risk you need to take. Now we can start moving out of the growth stocks and start looking at high yielding stocks, maybe some more tax efficiency there between how we hold our dividend stocks inside of those different accounts that you're likely going to have, 401k and a Roth and a taxable and your fund trading account. I know, I see you guys out there. And then if you're over the age of 55, now's the time to start thinking about the game coming to an end. We got to get our minds wrapped around, we spent all these years, 20, 30, 40 years just putting money away. Now we have to start taking money out. Do you know the stress that puts on somebody when they retire and now the money goes this way versus this way? It's stressful. I watch it all the time. We're here in Florida. We're financial advisors in Florida. You could imagine a lot of our customers here in Florida are retired. We're not necessarily interested in the growth. We're interested in them keeping as much as possible, but we also have to do a little hand holding, right? Because you're now taking money out. Your balance is going down to some degree. Well, that's a little bit stressful there. So there you go. There's a few general tips. Let me know what you think about this because I've kind of thought about expanding on all of this and going real deep into different directions here. There's so much we could cover for the different generations, but hopefully this helps. If it did, I hope you'll hit the subscribe button. Keep us rolling. We're over 100,000 subscribers and show no signs of stopping. We're going to keep giving you these educational videos. We're not taking new clients right now, but we are the financial advisors that like to teach. We like to keep teaching so that you ask questions. The more you ask questions, the more we have to work, but the more we get you to move along, right? We know what's going on. We get you closer to your target. And truly, that's what gets me excited to roll here with you. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.